and it says that we are live. Hey, so there was a bit of a problem with the earlier weekly stream, so I figured I would give it another shot. Oh, let me turn the real light on. That's why it's so dark. All right, that's a bit better. Yeah. So so I'm just making sure that I have something up for people that didn't catch the first stream. So I'm just going to stream for half an hour, maybe an hour. We'll see how carried away we get. And so the most exciting news of the week. There's been a lot of exciting news this week. One of the things that happened this week is that Cherry, is their name just Cherry? I don't know. Anyway, Voltage Modular Nucleus is free for the time being. I will put the link everywhere. Cherry Voltage Modular free. It is free for the moment, so you can get hold of it and get through this next couple of difficult weeks that I think everyone is going to be struggling with globally. So let's... I'm just grabbing the URL, copy link address. Great. Now I can dump it into chat so you can get it that way. Otherwise, it will be in the description of the video. So we're going to flick over to Ableton now, and we are going to muck around with Voltage Modular Nucleus because it looks pretty interesting. I have opened it exactly once thus far, and I loaded a preset because I just wanted to have my initial reaction be on stream so you guys can check out what it looks like and how I feel about it. So here it is. This is Voltage Modular. Good, it fits onto the viewable portion of my screen. That's a good start. I have it inside Ableton so we can resample out of it maybe if we want to, but I figure we should just try and understand this whole thing. Should we load some presets? I'll try and understand it. Let's load some presets. What's this do? Big glide. Oh. Okay, so that's pretty standard kind of subtractive patch. Let's go through all the components of this. Wow, so there's 6 oscillators here. They appear to all be using, or mainly using the sawtooth ramp down. There's some squares. Okay, so there's a 6 input mixer. So all of the oscillators are feeding into the mixer, I am guessing. So the oscillators, there's some frequency modulation coming out of, mod wheel assistant. Okay, so mod wheel doesn't appear to be doing much for me, but that's cool. So there's an envelope generator. The envelope is going out to the filter. So the amplifier. So where's the output to the output from the mixer goes to the audio ins on the filter. Keyboard, PWM. So I'm just looking at what things are moving what, because I kind of understand this patch. So there's a delay, which, yeah, that's an effect. How's the amplifier working? Oh, okay, envelope generator. Where's the output going? To that, yeah. To the amplifiers. So how? So after the mixer, it goes straight to the filter. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So there's not an amplifier before the filter. Interesting. All right, cool. So it looks to me like the oscillators all feed into the mixer. The mixer feeds into the filter. These amplifiers are controlling the frequency of the cutoff of the filter. Where's the output from the filter going? Sorry, incorrect. The output from the filter is going into the amplifiers. Right, and then the output from that is going into the delays. Right, and so is there... Right, so this envelope generator is doing the filter cutoffs, and this envelope generator is doing the amplifiers. Right, so if we want to bring down the filter... Yep. So that's the decay time for the filter, and this is the amplifier. Okay, so yeah, all of that's very complicated way of rebuilding a standard subtractive synthesizer in a rack. Yeah, full preset and stuff. All right, let's find another preset and just have a look. Nucleus Rave. No, don't save my work. Well, we got a whole bank of oscillators again. Oh, I suppose LFOs are just oscillators as well, so that makes kind of sense to me. So yeah, I'm guessing these ones are voices, although it's hard to say. So attenuverter, what's an attenuverter do? I'm guessing it's an attenuator. And a something verter, a converter? Hard to say. It takes an input and it produces an output. Yeah, so if you see this oscillator, it's a square wave which is coming in, and it's at unity, which means it's not being modified. It's coming out at the same volume it goes in, and going into the audio in of the filter. I really don't understand why that would be. So there's 2 ins, or 3 ins here, and 1 output. All right, let's build a patch. Where should we start? So this is all of the modules that are built in. So it's a virtual modular piece of software. Obviously there's racks. It's a little bit like VCV rack or like Euro rack. And it seems to be rock solid so far in the twice that I've opened it. And I think everything runs at audio rate, so we should be able to patch up some pretty crazy stuff. I didn't take note of how we connect this thing to this thing. So MIDI from host? Keyboard? No. MIDI out? Okay, let's load a preset. And just check out how this thing's configured. So MIDI goes to the arpeggiator. Okay, well that's... Pick another one. So this is... Right, so CV outs is really MIDI in. And then that goes to the host. Okay, cool. So let's start a new patch. Grab the oscillator again. So I think we can put pitch to keyboard. So now... Oh, and we can take the square... sawtooth wave, and we'll take it to the outs to host. And that should be making a noise, I would have thought. TV outs, audio in. I think that to there should make the pitch of this thing track. So there should be noise coming out of this. Oh, main outs. So obviously there's no volume control on that noise at all. That's just going to keep making a noise. So let's get an amplifier. Wait, and we'll get an envelope generator. So we'll take the gate from here to here so that we trigger the envelope generator with the key press. We'll take the sawtooth output from the oscillator to the amplifier, so that's our input. We'll take the output and we'll send it to the main outs. And then the envelope out we take to the CV in. And now whenever we press a key, it's tracking the pitch from this cable, and we're using the gate to create an envelope to modify the amplitude of the oscillator by using the amplifier. While we're at it, let's put a filter in. Is there just one filter built in? There is just one filter built in. All right. Actually, let's move the filter along. We'll grab another envelope generator. And it looks like we can have multiple cables. We can, but you have to cable them from the multiple end first. Okay. And then our envelope out needs to go to the frequency mod 1. And instead of the output going straight out, we'll send it to the filter. And then we'll send the low pass output out. So now we should have a... Okay, so we need this mod 1 amount up. Oh, maybe... Mod type exponential. Cool. Okay, so now we've got a filter going on. So what are the filter options here? So we've got slope values. And we've got, that's pretty much it. Okay, cool. So we could use an arpeggiator. Oh, I don't know what the, step sequencer instead. How do we get rid of, do we just double click it? No. No. How do we get rid of a module? You can tell I have not read the manual at all. Okay, so we can remove. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's get a little step sequencer going on. So we'll take the pitch. Oh, maybe we won't. Yeah, let's go on arpeggiator for now, and we'll step it up. So MIDI in, get rid of that keyboard CV. We want CV out. That's kind of interesting because we're moving the notes, but we're not re-triggering the envelopes because the clock out, the gate out isn't being sent off to these two. So let's get rid of those, and we'll set up the gates to come from the arpeggiator as well. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, how does glide work? So is that a slew? Is that what that is? Let's try taking the glide from the note. Yeah, so it's essentially like smearing the CV values. Instead of hard cuts between the note intervals, we're getting these little slides between them. That's pretty sweet. Oh, we've got oscilloscopes. Oh, ring mod. Hello. Let's take the output from the filter and we'll send it into the ring mod. And then we'll take the output out again. Oh no, why do we get no noise? Do we need something on the other one as well? Let's grab another oscillator. And we'll take the keyboard value from there, and we'll take the output from here. So let's edit the so maybe we need, oh no, we've got amplitude here. Ooh. So why aren't we getting X input, Y input? Man, maybe I don't know enough about ring modulators. This is fun. I guess this is why people get hooked on modulars, hey? Because you just drag stuff in and try to figure out how it works. So what else have we got in here that's interesting? We can chuck a distortion. We'll take the output from our filter. We'll take the output to the main house. Can you duplicate? You can duplicate. Interesting. So we can just keep chaining these inputs and make like a super distortion output. And so we can probably take an envelope generator and take the gate in from the arpeggiator and then take the envelope out. So now we're dynamically controlling the distortion amount with each of these three distortions. So how do we get some random in here? Can we get some level of... Oh, amplifier. What sort of... Oh, right. I was thinking guitar amplifier, but it's just a modular amplifier. Is there filter drive? There's not really filter drive. Okay. What else we got? Noise might be interesting. I'm trying to think of like some unison or something like that, but maybe we're going to use spring reverb before before the distortions. Yeah, so like you can hear it's just absolutely smashed. It's gorgeous. Okay, so I'll delay. Hello, look at you hanging out over there. So maybe instead of the reverb, let's take some delay. So there's feedback, sweet. Are there advanced options? Wow, that's almost... yeah, if you can't tell, I really enjoy playing with delays. Like, just check out that noise. Yeah, so I was hoping we could build something out of this, but you can't because it glitches out the time. I was hoping to build a chorus, but it's not really going to work. So that's cool. Let's go back to our reverb setup. Whoops. I wonder... Okay, so well, let's just... I'm not sure that this is tempo synced, so let's just hit a note. And then we'll see if we can work out the tempo, and then maybe we'll write a little loop around what patch we've created and see maybe if we come up with some other patches. I reckon we might need to freeze and flatten. So let's freeze this. I'm going to take my jumper off. All right, so let's and flatten. Right, and then we'll mute this other one because we might come back to it, but I think it's going to be easy to work in audio. All right, so let's just grab the bull by the horns, set 1-1 here, unwarp. And we'll bring the tempo to something that might work. Okay, so 120. So in here, is there a tempo that's set at 120 somewhere? Or is that just an accident? Oh, so it's the rate on the arpeggiator. 4 hertz. Is 4 hertz a multiple of 120? Sure. Okay, cool. Well, so we're going to work at 120 beats per minute. And it would be nice... I think that loop actually is this, so it's down and then up. Yeah, but to me that sounds more musical. So let's just grab some drums and we'll... Sure. Might be more fun to have a really wonky timing around that very synthetic locked. Alright, let's get a gate going on. We will, actually, let's just grab an old sidechain trigger that I got laying around. Okay, we'll put that on each of these hits. And we'll take the input from sidechain trigger. actually just go for a straight up 4/4. I feel like that's more the vibe of this bass loop. And in fact, we could probably edit this. Alright, let's get a chorus on this Voltage Modular patch. Alright, let's really push the highs a bit so that the chorus pops out a bit more. Alright, and then on this kick, it's a bit too toppy for... Alright, so I'm just going to fill this out with some percussion real quick, so bear with me. Drum hits, misc percussion. Cool. So let's grab this and we'll just modify all of that. And I might well, it's really tempting about how to time all of this, but anyway, let's try that. Yeah, I think we probably got to do that, which might mean that we need to So I'm just working with these samples. It's a kind of just a reactive process of, yeah, coming up with an idea based off what you've got in front of you. All right, and so we're going to do the same thing with some hats. So we need, whoops, a drum rack. I'm aware this is not very voltage modular specific, this part, but we're going to come back to that in a second. Let's just take a whole bunch of hats, dump them in here. Let's just copy this whole thing down. That actually sounded remarkably good. I'm going to just crop it to this. Oh. All right, cool. It's time for another voltage modular. Let's get in here. All right, so what are we going to do? We need like a little... we look at a preset. Okay, what have we got? So in ARPs, okay, cool. So there are some basic things. Ah, nice. Drums. Oh, okay. Well, so let's look at some of these drums. I'm intrigued that that's not making noise, but that's okay. We have to hit play. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's really interesting, but it's not very usable without converting it to audio once again. So let's silence that and we'll try and layer this over the top. And it looks like the timing is just doing its own thing. So we will warp it. Let's get right in on this first hit. Set 1-1. All right, and then so if we just take that, maybe we'll take longer a bit. Okay, so let's have a look at some other stuff in here. Passive signs. That's kind of interesting. All right. Oh, one thing I used to love doing. Let's just. Oh, we need plus. So I just overdubbed a whole bunch of notes and, oh wow, we're at half an hour already. Okay, so anyway, I overdubbed a whole bunch of notes and we're gonna just go to 16ths and we're gonna quantize all of this stuff and then we're just gonna see what kind of pops out, see if an idea forms. Okay, so I like this. Maybe we'll come across here and we'll duplicate that. And then this bit at the end happens there. And we don't need this stuff. So now we've got a nice little bell line. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So it's certainly, I'm being forced. So I have this theory that the different synthesizers force you to think in different ways, and so they influence really strongly what it is that you write. And I feel like that's happening with this already. So I feel like I'm being pushed in this path of taking audio chunks out of things, and then arranging the audio chunks. And that's a way that I've not been working for a little while, which is good. So it's like forcing me to do something interesting. And I like that that bell thing was pretty easy to work with. And I don't think my CPU is completely losing its mind. 13%, that's fine. Yeah, so, and like these presets seem reasonably usable. Like if we find like just a little lead. Well, that's pretty nice. And so it's a reasonably simple patch. Oh, so there's a little dedicated LFO unit, an amplifier, which we've kind of covered, a glide, which we've covered, a bend limiter we haven't covered. So that looks like that's just, it scales the CV input from the pitch bend knob and limits it to a particular number of steps. So I'd say that that's really just a utility to map between MIDI and its internal CV state. We've got an oscillator and a tenuverter, which I still don't understand, but I would like to. An inverter. Oh, interesting. Is it just a fancy mixer? I think that's what they're using it for. Oh, not even a mixer. See, none of these patches modify the level. I'm kind of interested to understand why that's there, but I'll figure that out on my own time. And then we've got a filter, another envelope generator, another amplifier. What's this one doing? Yeah, so this is... Oh, so this one's doing filter, this one's doing amplitude, right? So they're doing amplitude after filter, which kind of blows my mind, but all good. And then we've got a delay and a reverb. And that LFO is doing the vibrato. Presumably, yeah. Yeah, so I feel like I would wind up making a whole bunch of sci-fi noises out of this stuff. So let's... maybe I'll just play it in. So I would want that to be a little bit faster. Well, it's nice that they're all responding to velocity as well, even though I played that with very poor velocity. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. Look, I might leave that there. So that was Voltage Modular Nucleus. It is, again, free. The link is in the description. You can go check it out. Plenty of people, I'm sure, on YouTube have full walkthroughs about it. I just wanted to kind of open it and muck around and let you see me figuring it out. I hope it was interesting. Let me know if you would like to see me figuring out more software. Suggest some software I should try and figure out. If it's stuff I already own or you know how to use, I might do a more detailed explanation. If it's stuff I haven't used before or haven't used for a while, I'm happy to sit here and figure stuff out and let you maybe learn something based off me trying to vocalize what it is that I think I'm seeing. Whether I'm right or wrong, who knows? Yeah. Have a great day, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.